Watch Boeing in the pre-market looks to open up about 2% here as Southwest announces 100 firm orders for the 737 MAX, takes an option for about 155 additional jets. Jim, it was on our show in 2019 where Gary Kelly said, look, the board's going to look at maybe diversifying into Airbus. And it was later that Boeing's Dave Calhoun said, we let him down.
You know, this is a surprise. Phil LeBeau with an excellent report earlier. I did think it was going to go to Airbus because you remember how angry Gary Kelly was. Who can blame him? But this plus a note from Goldman Sachs saying 787 deliveries resume, it is a statement that maybe that Boeing's going to return to the the stock's been signaling this, return to one of the blue chips that is going to be the great reopening trade. And the reopening trade is still very strong. And I find that the Keep America Closed trade diminishes by the day. This is a very big deal, Carl. And I do think that when I think about Boeing and this is the 737 MAX, I think that people felt no one would ever ride it again. Carl, I don't think no one even knows whether they're in a 737 MAX.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Jim, American had some updated guidance on net bookings. As of the 26th of March last week, the 7-day moving average of net bookings at American is 90% of the 2019 total.
Wow.
And they see that continuing through Q2. But, Jim, capacity's down 40%. So I don't know how we work their way out of that except for higher fares.
Yes, absolutely. The fares are going up. Especially, remember, what's really incredible is you can't go to Europe. So, I mean, these companies are going to make a lot of money. Good for them. I know that when people say, well, wait a second, they got a government bailout. But if we recall, at this time last year, we thought that the way you got COVID was to go on a plane. It took a long time for Boeing and for the airlines to be able to actually state their case, which is that the airflow is 16 times better than a building. And so I absolutely feel that this is, again, a sign that you got to own the airlines. I don't think people understand that when Europe comes back, it's just going to be really bountiful. Southwest, obviously, right here, right now, levered to the price of oil, too, but expanded. Some of these companies took advantage of this moment, Carl, and really, really expanded. And I think that that's why Southwest needs so many planes.
Yeah, certainly JetBlue and Gary Kelly at Southwest have been pretty opportunistic about entering some markets they maybe weren't in previously. It kind of brings to mind, Jim, this Goldman note this morning on the economy, Jan Hatzius, that's actually titled Anatomy of a Boom. And they say accelerating sequential growth is transitioning from our forecast to a fact. They leave Q1 GDP at 7.5, largely because of the weather drag, but they take Q2 up a full point to 10.5. Jim, as they say, look, the timing of these stimulus payments and the reopening is going to mean the springtime is just going to be hot.
Oh, wow. That's a good note. And I think that, again, that is what the story is in our markets. Restaurants, travel. I saw Disney down because people felt that maybe Disney's caught up with the great the Archegos fool. Well, I don't want to call it. I don't want to call it fraud because that would be too strong. But I do think that anything that is opening, anything that's in the mall. I mean, how about this lag trade? This is the trade that Matthew Boss mentioned. LB is doing great. American Eagle's doing great. I mean, Gap is doing great. Carl, I don't want to say we're back, but we're close to it. We're close to it.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.